Hello everyone! Now, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter video just because I'm only doing one combatant today. Today, I thought it would be a good idea to just cap where the RWBY verse is in power-wise currently. Now, obviously comparing it to other verses, for that, you're going to have to watch my other videos. But for today, we will be doing one thing, and that is we will see how strong the captain of Team RWBY is Ruby Rose. So, let's get started. This is going to be the easier one, it's speed. So, simply put, minimum Volume 3 characters are all lightning timers. They all are. Mercury and Emerald, who they should be relative to the rest of Team RWBY, they're all lightning timers. And that's back in Volume 3. Honestly, that flashback most likely takes place even before Volume 1. So, minimum lightning timers. However, as you can probably guess, they get stronger and stronger and stronger, where it gets to the point where even like mid tiers or even lower high tiers such as Adam Taurus are able to block light beams that come to around a couple percentage of the speed of light. And then we get even further on with characters like Winter, who RWBY should be actually even faster than, just due to the fact that, well, she's a speedster, and a speedster who's already relative to Winter, and that puts her at around 4 times the speed of light, which is nothing to scoff at, considering most verses struggle to get to light speed. The fact that RWBY is so consistently in the light speed areas, and that's not even me talking about the random outliers, such as in Volume 3, Penny making lasers and Pyrrha being able to dodge them very easily. So, yes, simply put, there's a lot of light speed metas, but the highest area we have found is around 4 times the speed of light. Now, getting into her strength, and this is actually a little bit new. So, obviously, if you want the older strength calculations or the older strength metas I used, check out some of my other videos. You will definitely enjoy them. However, we're going to be looking at a brand new meta today, and that is thanks to the calc that I put in the description below. And that is, well, the force exerted by Penny to push Amity Arena. So, this is quite a contentious calc, just because there are so many ways to do it. And so many different factors, such as air resistance, how far it was in the atmosphere, was it in freefall, what was it in, right? However, for the most part, I have found at least a semi-consistent set of calculations. So, the lowest calculations that I have found is around a couple megatons. Okay? So, the lowest is about 2.5 megatons. Very strong, but nothing we haven't seen before. However, once you get to the larger and more crazy calculations for this feat, we start seeing some major upgrades for the RWBYverse, getting up to 9.3 gigatons of TNT, which is island level. Even some of the middle ends of this calc put it at around 282 megatons of TNT, which is mountain level. So that's already a massive upgrade. But if we use the highest calculation, as I said prior, at 9.3 gigatons of TNT, that is enough energy to destroy an island. And this could also be ridden in by some of the calculations we have seen prior. For example, Salem attacking Atlas with her black ooze in Volume 8 also gets into the island ranges. So Penny being able to exert this level of energy is definitely plausible. On top of that, getting into RWBY directly scaling to Penny. Yes, was RWBY weaker than Penny in Volume 8? Most likely, yes. However, it is important to know that RWBY didn't get 1 times, she didn't get 1.5 times, she didn't get 2, 3. She got multiple times stronger by the end of Volume 9. This is pretty easy to, infer just due to the fact that she was able to beat the Curious Cat. The Curious Cat was able to beat Yang, Blake, John, and Weiss, and even Juniper the Rabbit not the team, at the same time. All these characters are the same level, if not a tiny bit stronger than they were in Volume 8. So, RWBY being able to combat a opponent one-on-one who is able to basically knock out all of them, or knock them all to the ground, proves that she has gone multiple fold stronger from that iteration, which was already in a similar power to the force that Penny was able to exert when stopping Amity Arena. So, to recap, RWBY right now is 4 times faster than light and can exert to anywhere from the, couple megatons of TNT all the way to even 9.3 gigatons. So it's safe to say that Ruby Rose is quite strong. And let's not forget her ace in the hole, the Silver Eyes, which do allow her to combat any magic. Alright. So, is everyone gone? I had it fade to black and all the casuals left. Good. So now it's time. Now it's time for the evil, the very evil. This is probably the most evil power scaling I am about to commit on this channel. Okay, so strap in. So, I'm about to get Ruby to some crazy highballs. So, in Volume 8, Salem was able to shake the area of the Ever After, which is a different pocket dimension, which has its own separate space-time. Okay? So, this means that Salem was able to shake an alternate time-space, which is similar to something that Goku did in the DBZ movies and technically Dragon Ball Super Broly, which itself is not necessarily a universal feat, but it does sort of imply that Goku can affect the entire universe as a whole. Salem did the exact same thing, except she was in a different universe, and she was able to shake an alternate universe or reality that functions on a different time continuum, thanks to the fact that we know that Team RWBY and John, they all experience time differently in the Ever After. I have another video, you can check that out. But, simply put, time works differently there. Salem was able to shake an alternate dimension with an alternate space-time, meaning that it is possible that you could scale Salem to Universal, and RWBY should be able to at least somewhat affect Salem with her Silver Eyes. This is implied by not only Nora, but also the narrative, just from Summer going into, protective mode and trying to stop Salem with her Silver Eyes. We obviously know she failed, but Summer is at least memorable enough to leave an impression on Salem, which means that most likely she should do something impressive enough to Salem. Now, that is incredibly... That is a genuine, insane highball. Please do not use this in your arguments. But there is always that chance. So, to recap, I might be able to get RWBY to Universal if you argue that. So, yes. That is the crazy RWBY scaling. Obviously, before this, you can obviously use the prior parts. This highball is such a crazy highball. I just wanted to put it out there just for the fun of it. Who knows? Maybe Death Battle will actually use this, and if that's the case, I'll laugh. I'll laugh so hard. But yeah, for the most part, RWBY is still strong. You can maybe, give her a little bit of a highball and get her up to the island level with Faster Than Light. But for now, that's all she's got. The universe, don't use it, but it is funny. You could also argue that she beats Goku because she crossed over with Superman and was portrayed relative to Superman. So, yeah. Universal RWBY, I guess, is just canon. Anyway, guys, that's enough. That's enough crazy scaling for today. I'm hopping off. I hope you guys had a fun time in this video, because as you can guess from me laughing, I did.